What's up, everybody? Welcome to my podcast. It's just different. My name is Ty, and I'm going to be covering everything under the sun. Everything under the sun, from sports, a little bit of politics, social, but we must dive into what is still trending, the whole Kyrie Irving thing. And I sat back and I wanted to do my research and hear everybody, or mostly a lot of people, and see where they was coming from, and speak my piece on it. So I'm gonna jump right into it.
Welcome to It's Just Different with your host, Ty.
Now, with the whole Kyrie Irving thing, I watched Hebrew to Negroes. I actually watched the whole 3.5 hours. I wrote down notes. If you see me looking and looking down, it's because I wrote notes to the film. I wrote notes on other different things because I didn't want to come from an emotional standpoint. I wanted to come with facts and truth. So, getting into the tweet that Kyrie had posted, Hebrew to Negroes, I watched it. Watching it, it seemed like there was a narrative trying to be pushed where seemed like the Hebrews was basically trying to take everything that is African culture and African history as Hebrews. So it was like they was trying to take their culture, in a sense, in the sense of everything that the Africans did along the Nile Valley. It seemed like the guy who directed it was attributing that to the Hebrews did it, of Israel. They came, and no. Even if you just study linguistics and everything, a lot of things in there was inaccurate. I love my Hebrew brothers. A lot of them I talk to and I stand with them. They good brothers. Some of them that I actually personally know. I can't speak for everybody else. I seen the part with Adolf Hitler, and it was around 2 hours and 35 minutes in the film. Like I said, I actually watched it, and they put up a quote, an alleged quote, that, and I'm paraphrasing, Adolf Hitler said, America has its jewels, America has the stolen hidden jewels, something that the black people are the stole, something. And then at the bottom of it, it said, it is believed that Adolf Hitler made this claim at a location somewhere. And I'm like, first of all, why would you even quote anything from Adolf Hitler? That's whatever. Second of all, why would you quote something you can't even prove he said? It's just believe. It's like they say, yo, we just gonna ride with it because it's gonna substantiate, or it's gonna prove our point that black Hebrews, that the black people are the real Hebrews, so we just gonna put that in there. And right after that, they put up a quote from, and they call him King. I don't call him no king. He ain't no king. But they call him King Leopold II of Belgium. Now here's another tyrant. Here's another wicked person that massacred like over 10 million Africans. He massacred over like 10 million Africans. And there's pictures. You could see, Google, there's pictures of African people with their hands cut off. Not because they was trying to fight back or they was trying to escape. Their hands are cut off because they didn't. If they didn't produce enough product that day, their hands was cut off. There's sick people. So I'm thinking, why would you even quote these two people, this dude, just to prove that, we the black dude, because it didn't make no sense. But if you understand the history, or some with the black Hebrew Israelites and how they feel about Africans, then you understand. Okay, they were insensitive, and is that film whatever. Now let me get back to my brother Kyrie. I stand with my brother. I'm down with my brother, 10 toes down, and he's a free thinker and a person that seeks truth, and that's what I'm about. and I love my brother, and I'm riding with my brother. And while all this was going on, I sit back and I say to myself, what is this really all about? This can't really be about the film, because if it's about the film, then why no one is saying anything to Jeff Bezos, whose platform it's on? Why no one is saying anything to Shaquille O'Neal, who's one of his movie theaters had that film played, Hebrew to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. No one said neither of them. And I thought to myself, could it be that currently, as I'm speaking now, Jeff Bezos and the NBA are working together for a partnership where NBA games can be streamed, right? Sorry about that. Where NBA games could be streamed for like $1 billion deal. That's what's going on now. So of course the NBA, it's a business. Of course NBA ain't gonna say nothing about that. It's bigger than Nino Brown. It's bigger than Nino Brown. And then I look at what's going on with the whole Kyrie Irving as it pertains to the vaccine thing. And they were mad about that. The media, especially in sports, every time you turned on TNT, ESPN, Fox Sports, that's all they talk about. Kyrie. That's it. You would have thought that man, Kyrie, killed like 20 people. The way how they were just on him, bashing him, disrespecting him, and I saw one episode with Kendrick Perkins. And he was talking at the time. I think Andrew Williams didn't get the vaccine at this. He was skeptical. And Kendrick Perkins said, well, if you don't think, and I'm paraphrasing what Kendrick said, but he was like, if you don't think this is serious, then you should talk to Cat, which is Karl Anthony Towns. And Karl Anthony Towns, I guess some of his family members had caught the virus and passed on. So rest in peace. My condolences to his family. And he was like, if you don't think it's that serious, why don't you go talk to Karl Anthony Towns and just see how serious it is and about the virus, So I said, and I thought to myself, let me flip that question, because I can easily say, Kendrick Perkins, while they talk to Karl Anthony Towns, why they should also talk to some of the professional athletes that took the vaccine because they had to play or wanted to play, and because they took the vaccine, they developed some type of disability, they received blood clots or something like that, and those stories are being suppressed. Better yet, I'll go even further. Why don't Kendrick Perkins, you have those black athletes go talk to the Africans in Nigeria? Yeah, bombshell. It's bigger than Nino Brown. Why don't you talk to the Africans in Nigeria, where Pfizer, because Pfizer was one of the companies that was giving the vaccine, and Pfizer is the biggest pharmaceutical drug company in the world. Pfizer is, yes it is. Pfizer is the biggest drug distribution manufacturer company in the world. Pfizer was sued in 1996 because they was illegally, without the knowledge of the government, giving vaccine to the kids in Nigeria, which resulted to some of those kids dying, some of those kids receiving brain damage and all these other different things, paralysis, all these different things. And this case went on for 15 years. Nigeria sued Pfizer and it got settled for around $75 million, I believe. And there's no price tag you could put on life. You know what I'm saying? Once when you do that, it is messed up. But this is Pfizer. This is what they said, allegedly. This is in the paperwork. Pfizer was sued. $75 million. I mean, they were sued for like $1 billion, but they settled out of court for $75 million. And some of the family members to the kids who died or received some type of lifetime disability, Pfizer ended up making payments to them. But this is the same company that you are telling Kyrie, yo, you gotta take the shot. You ain't was, they basically try to make him seem like a monster. Another bombshell I'm gonna give you. In 1986, it's the Childhood Injury Act that was signed, signed and passed by the United States government. We give y'all another bombshell. Childhood Injury Act, 1986. What it basically is, it takes off all accountability to these pharmaceutical companies. So if so happen you take this vaccine and if you die, they are not liable. Let me break it down for you. So here comes your job saying, yo, you got to take this vaccine. And if you don't, you're going to be going in 30 days. You don't really want to take it. But guess what? You got kids. You live in check to check like majority of everybody in this country. And you saying, man, I don't want to take this shot. I don't want to put something in my body I don't really know nothing about. I don't know nothing about the long-term effects, short-term. I don't know nothing about, but I got to take this shot if I want to continue to provide for my family. So now you basically are forced to take this shot. And while you take this shot, guess what? You develop some type of disease or you die, get a heart attack. And guess what? You cannot sue because they are protected. They are protected. That's the act that they signed. If you don't believe me, I'm going to read it to you right now. Under NCVAI, the NVICP was created to provide a federal no-fault system for compensating vaccine-related injuries or death involving the United States Courts of Federal Claims and Special Masters. That's what it says in there. It's a fact. Don't believe me? Do your research. Do your like I tell people. Do your research. Don't believe nothing I say. Just do your research. So again, if you don't take that shot and your job is telling you and you don't really want to take, but you got to provide for your family. If you don't take it, you lose your job. But if you take it and you die, ain't nothing gonna happen. Oh no, and like they say, but no one ain't forcing you. No one ain't you really are you forcing. I've seen a lot of commentators, sports commentators say that. No one ain't forcing you. No one, yeah you are. Yeah you are. And let me give you another thing. If you haven't been paying attention to the news. A few weeks ago in New York, a judge ruled that everybody that was fired due to not wanting to take the vaccine, they had to get their job back immediately and back pay. Let me say that again. Everybody that was fired because they did not want to take the vaccine, the judge said you have to give their jobs back immediately with back pay. Guess what? Kyrie gets that back pay. Remember, y'all, he's basically missed like half a season because he didn't want to get the shot. So guess what? They owe that man millions. They owe that man millions of dollars. You don't think they pissed off about that? Of course they are. This is bigger than Nino Brown. Keep on telling y'all that. This is bigger than Nino Brown. Now, I look at something I say, yo, man, this is crazy. From this perspective, I look at Nick Cannon, I look at Kyrie, and I look at Ye, formerly known as Kanye West. I look at Ye. And I said, these guys, what is the reason as to why they all got canceled? What did they all said different things. What is the real reason? And the only thing I can see is that they all made claims to Jewish roots that they said, I am Hebrew. You know, like Kyrie said, I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. And if you go and read the Oxford Dictionary of what a Semite is and Semitic language and different things like that, you'll see what it says. So that's why he said what he said. And I'm thinking, could this be about free-thinking black men that are in their positions where they can connect with the world because of who they are, their celebrity status, putting it out there on the front line that, we're black Hebrews. We're not, just, I'm not getting into the who's first and you're not a written, no, but no, we're black Hebrews. Is that the reason why they're catching a lot of this flack? And then I dig deeper into it. This is about to get serious. Look at or do some research on the Ethiopian Jews. Ethiopia is in Africa, just in case if some of y'all didn't know. But look at the Ethiopian Jews that are in Israel now. And they talking about being deported. And they talk about racism that they face and how they can't get this and they can't get that and all these things and cops shooting them down. All that. The Ethiopian Jews. The Ethiopian Jews. Look at that. Why is that so quiet? Why nobody saying nothing about that? Look at the Limba Jews, African Jews that are now, where they are possibly one of the only Jews that can actually make a bloodline to the Hebrews during that in those biblical times. That's if you believe in the Bible. Some people don't, whatever. I'm not getting into that. It's a whole topic for another day. The Limba Jews, the African Jews, the Y chromosomes, all that, they can prove that this is who we are. We're not reading off. No, we're not reading. This is who we are. They can prove through their DNA that they are those Jews are related to those Hebrews bloodline of those times. And a few of them were saying how Israel won't even recognize them. Bigger than Nino Brown. So my thing is that seen as anti-Semitic? What the Ethiopian Jews are going through? What the Lemba Jews are going through? Can that be seen as anti-Semitic? Why aren't the news saying nothing about that? Makes you think, huh? I mean, it's just, I just ask people to do their research, man, and I had to speak my 2 cents on that, speak my piece on that, and I just wanted to share that with everybody. And I'm gonna keep on doing my research and bringing that fire, and and letting people know. But do your research. Don't never be a follower and let people tell you this is what it is and that's what it is. But that's what I see what's going on with a lot of the black commentators in sports. How they was just riding Kyrie, just bashing him, and trust me, they were being told to. Absolutely. And now since they getting backlash from the black community, they want to, wait, nah, so we already saw your colors. We know what it is, but we've been new, you know what I'm saying? So it's never like we're mad, we're just disappointed. That's it. It's just a point. It's like, okay, cool. We know you've been doing this. So that's it for me, y'all. It's Just Different podcast, and I'm gonna see you guys. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. And if anybody want to join me, come in and join on another topic, hit me up, because I'm coming with it, man. It's bigger than Nino Brown. All right, so peace and love.